Leading up to this night, there'd been a great deal of speculation, would the Dallas Cowboys move up? Well, the answer turns out to be yes. They move up one spot. You see the compensation that they offered to the Miami Dolphins to move up to this one spot. So obviously a player the Cowboys identified that they could absolutely not afford to pass up on, and we'll find out who that player is. Here comes the commissioner to announce the Cowboys selection at number 11.
With the 11th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Caleb Downs, defensive back, Ohio State.
Another Ohio State star. He actually was the SEC Freshman of the Year at Alabama in 2023. Transferred when Nick Saban retired, off to Ohio State, where he was a unanimous All-American in both of his seasons, won the Lott Trophy, the Jim Thorpe Award, Mel, and a national champion.
What do the Cowboys need on defense? A culture change, right? They need an alpha coming in there. This team allowed 30 or more points in 9 football games. Jerry Jones was watching his offense, Dak and friends, go up and down the field. Then the opposition's going to go right back and answer every touchdown and keep scoring. They're still scoring against that Cowboy defense. They couldn't stop anybody. This kid is going to tolerate nothing but winning, nothing but working. He's the smartest football player Nick Saban ever coached, because Nick said it, right? You talk about that freshman year, first Alabama freshman to lead the team in tackles in school history. He had 16.3 average per punt return with a touchdown in 2024. He played for 3 different defensive coordinators. This kid may not be Cal Hamilton in terms of being 6'4", 220, but pound for pound, one of the best football players you will ever find. Please say he is an alpha. I thought even at 2 for the Jets it would make sense, because he will change the culture, and nobody on defense needs more than that than the Dallas Cowboys.
You know, coaches always talk about, I can coach you up, but you got to go on the field and play. When you send him on the field, you have a coach on the field. He's got high-level instincts, and what does that mean? That means you don't have to tell him where the play's coming. He can feel it out. He's seen enough football. He can get guys lined up. When you look at a Cowboy defense that needs to get better in a lot of areas, you're going to have your coach on the back end and Caleb Downs, an instinctual playmaker. I'm not concerned about his size. There's some concern about his size in the tackling. I didn't see him miss many tackles, Luke. I think he'll be able to get ball carriers down.
What he's going to bring is just a calming influence, a calming, communicative, playmaking influence in the secondary that they lacked last year. Last year, not only did they get beat physically, they have miscommunications, coverage, busts, all that stuff. And look, Mel, you talked about it. Where he comes from, having played at Alabama for Nick and having played now at Ohio State, where he was at, without a doubt, him and Sonny and Arbel ran that show there. He's going to run the show in Dallas. He's going to go in there from day one, and new defensive coordinator Christian Parker is going to say, hey, look, we moved up in the first for a reason, to bring you in here as you're one of the people who's one of the forward-facing people on the team, and we need you to make plays and get people on the same page and not miss tackles just like you did at Ohio State. He was an absolute sniper at Ohio State as a tackler. You rarely saw somebody get loose from him once he put his hands on him, and that's what he's going to need to do too. Turn that football over.
According to ESPN's draft predictor, there was only a 12% chance that Caleb Downs would be available at number 11, so the Cowboys may have gotten themselves a steal here, and Caleb Downs is standing by now with Laura Marriott Bonvoy takes us down to the stage. Laura.
Caleb, you're celebrating this, you're taking it all in, and just moments ago you were on the phone with Jerry Jones. What did he tell you about the Cowboys' plans to use you?
First of all, I just want to say thank God. Without that, none of us would be here. Just thanks for my Savior, Jesus Christ. But it was a great conversation. I honestly couldn't hear him much. I was too excited to listen. So I'm just excited to do what I can do and be committed to the team.
We'll ask Jerry later what he said. Now, your brother Josh is a wide receiver for the Colts. Your dad, Gary, a running back in the NFL. How special is it for your family that you now get to carry on this legacy?
It's an awesome feeling. Honestly, God's blessed us with a lot of favor to be in this situation, and I'm so thankful to be here. And our family, I can't even say enough words about them. There's a lot of love there.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
So Caleb Downs is a Dallas Cowboy. The Miami Dolphins up next. Mel, it's reasonable to say they need almost everything. We have 30 seconds.
They do.
Where do you go from here?
Well, you got Monroe Freeling and you got Caden Proctor, the 2 offensive linemen I was talking about for the Cleveland Browns, still on the board. They could go any direction, but it all begins up front. And you got to give your quarterback Malik Willis a fighting chance. So the offensive...
That was 2005. Look at my guy swag.
The 20th pick overall by the Dallas Cowboys, future Hall of Famer DeMarcus Ware. I had the pleasure of covering you guys in those teams. And when we had that draft, and you had that draft, those selections of you and DeMarcus shaped the defense for years to come. How might the Cowboys do that again tonight in a similar situation?
I'm not sure if they're going to go both defense.
Yeah.
But if they do, I think they'll be happy with what they come away with. Look, cornerback has to be an issue for the Cowboys. I know they signed Kobe Durant. They brought some guys in free agency. But they've always wanted a stalwart guy. So Mansour Delane out of LSU, they got history with Morris Claiborne there as well. But you think about the offensive side. If Tyson is there at wide receiver, with what you have going on with George Pickens, a kid from Allen, Texas, who you know who's been around that franchise, would that be too enticing for you to pass up? And Dallas has a history of taking wide receivers when people think they shouldn't.
That's right.
And they pan out to be really, really good. The Dez Bryants of the world.
Yep.
When they traded for Amari Cooper, everybody was like, what the hell are we doing? But again, I would love for them to come away with defense and offense. If you get two defensive guys, they got to be impactful now because that's the weakest part of your team as we go into this offseason. But also remember this, Matt. A new defensive coordinator in Christian Parker.
That's right.
The identity of this team, they want to turn back the clock and make sure that this defense is playing at a high level. It wouldn't shock me, but I would go offensive defense.
Speaking of turning back the clock, let's in fact go back to 2005, the night that this man was taken. Look at a young Spears.
Look at my mama.
What do you remember about that night?
Just remembering we're not going to be broke no more. That's number one. My sister in the front, my Uncle Tim in the back. My girlfriend at the time, Aisha, my wife now, was there.
Yeah.
It was just a great time. Look, man, I tell people all the time, like I'm in television, we in the back scene of this, right? And we got the fans, and the NFL does the best job of promoting their draft. But ultimately, bro, these kids done worked their whole life to get to this point.
Tonight.
And I don't want that to be lost on everything that goes on around in the conversations and where will they go and what kind of player they are. Dude, when your name get called, it's an out-of-body experience. This is something you've watched countless of dudes be able to do and have the opportunity to be drafted. I just remember being so grateful that I was able to be drafted to the NFL, and these kids' lives are going to change tonight.
And a great ambassador for the Dallas Cowboys at that. I'm going to brag on him real quick. Coming to LSU, not only was my man a first-round defensive end, the guy was a 5-star tight end coming out of college. My guy did it right. We'll catch you up in just a bit.
We are following a developing story in the NFL. Patriots coach Mike Vrabel says he will not be at the third day of the draft on Saturday because he will be starting counseling. On Tuesday, Vrabel met with the media for the first time since the New York Post published photos of him and NFL reporter Diana Rossini embracing and holding hands at a resort in Arizona. Vrabel saying he had to have, quote, some difficult conversations with people I care about, unquote. Coming up on SportsCenter, we're going to head back out to Pittsburgh for more coverage, including how the Steelers are approaching their draft with questions at quarterback. We'll also look at the biggest draft headlines, including how high Jeremiah Love will go and which team could move up for Ty Simpson. And our draft expert gives NFL comparisons for potential top 10 picks. Which current NFL QB does Fernando Mendoza remind him of? That is ahead. This is SportsCenter. And look at the players getting ready for tonight's draft. The Arizona State wide receiver Jordan Tyson. Nice kicks, bro. Most mock drafts have him or Ohio State's Cornell Tate as the first receiver off the board. We will see. And I wonder what size those shoes are, because I